Hello, everyone. Well, we are in our last review day, for the long form, young family long form section 2. And I've been looking at our videos of the class, and I have some tips for everybody today. So looking forward to working with you on that. What I want to do at the beginning of class today is a little different. So this will help warm us up just a bit. I want to go back to footwork. Young Grandmaster Yang Zhenduo, who is no longer with us, is used to say that if you have a problem with your form, look first to your support. Look first to your feet and your legs. Next, look to your middle body. And last, look to your upper body. So I want to go over just one aspect of making sure that your base is working for you, because it will influence your keeping level throughout the form. So let's go into a right bow step. We all know that shoulder width apart between our heels. And we're going to put our right foot forward. We all know how this bow step looks. I'm not going to go through that again. What I am going to do is ask you to shift your weight back. And notice that as you shift your weight back, you're straightening the front and the back is bending, right? And then as we shift forward, we're straightening the front. We're bending the front, excuse me, and the back straightens. So let's just do that a little bit. Feel that, and sink into that. Feel your feet keeping a dynamic tension all the time. And you notice that this lean that I have stays throughout, right? This lean that I have is staying throughout. Yes, Erlyn.
Are you asking us when we go from forward to back, is our, in a bow step, we have that tail that drops down to the floor in the middle, right? It comes straight.
Yes.
As we're moving back, are we maintaining that between the feet tail, or are we going towards our back leg when we're going back? Which one are we doing?
You always maintain that feeling.
So your tail is dragging a line in between your legs in the middle when you're moving back.
Yep. In fact, Mike Lucero, who's one of the owner directors of our school, he says it'll be very helpful, and I find it extremely helpful to you to imagine that you had this like chain that comes down and in a way, a bowling ball that is cutting through the floor, like on this chain, as you come back and as you move forward, as you come back and move forward, so that it's going with you. Or sometimes when we're going to the corner to stand in the corner, it draws a different line. It draws a diagonal line. What I'm mostly concerned about today is that we do this even in the tricky ones. So let's just start with a not terribly tricky one. I'm not sure anybody here has this problem, but let's start with cloud hands. So let's see. I want to do it so that you can watch me. I'm just going to get started here. All right. So we're all starting. Let's start here. All right. Now I want us to come back to center. Okay, there we go. Back to center. And notice that everybody has their knees bent. Now, as we come over to the right, we step. We have a straight leg. As we come back, it bends, and the other leg will straighten. And step in, it will now bend. They're both bent at the center, and one straightens. So here again, we have this bending and straightening action. And you just step out as far as your straight leg can step out, and you can root well, right? Now, here's a tricky one. Let's look at cross hands. Let's see. So we are in what looks like, let's see, here we go. It looks like a push, only our left foot is forward. So before we go to cross hands. Now, I want you to do cross hands. You're bending your back leg as you come back. Notice I'm going to stop right here. My front leg is now straight. As I turn, my front leg is still straight. Now bend your left leg. Your right leg is straightening as you shifted your weight. Put your right foot down and it bends. I think both of you have this as well, but I want to just call the attention to that. So I want you to feel it. Let's do it again. A push position with our left foot forward, and right knee bends. Left knee bends as we shift weight. Right leg straightens, comes in and bends as you shift weight to it, right? Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at repulse monkey. So here we are with repulse monkey. So first we're at the end of fist under elbow. Our right leg is bent. Our left leg is straight. As we come back, our left foot is reasonably straight, depending on how we do it, and goes down. It's straight, the front knee is still bent. Then the back knee bends as the front straightens. Again, that front knee is still bent. The back knee is straight. Back knee bends, front knee straightens. And the last one, the same way. So going back to where we started originally, when we were in this right bow step, if I were to not bend my back knee, notice what happens to my level. See that? You can actually see, because you can look at stuff behind me, right? Yeah. So it is really essential that as one knee bends and the other straightens, that they do it together in concert. It's like this dance that's happening all the time. Here's one more example where it's common. All of these are common examples for folks who are at your point, okay? And one more example would be from single whip to raise hands, step forward. We bend one leg and straighten. We turn. We bend the left leg and straighten and shift our weight and come back. The right leg straightens. And of course you'd let go of this. And then forward. But that left knee is still bent. There is a tendency sometimes for us in this move or in any of these moves to temporarily keep that other foot straight. Let me see if I can even do it. I'm going to keep it straight. You see how I go up and then you come down. It's very common for folks to do it that way. Yep. So what we want to do is make sure that we keep those, that we keep that dance going all the time. So the same thing is true when we're over here. Having done in second section, having done diagonal flying. We're in a bow step to the corner, right bow step to the corner, and we have just warded off. Actually, this was a split energy with a ward off. And we're going to shift our weight, bend that right knee, left knee, what? Straightens, comes back. It's straight for a moment, right? But now as you come back, it bends and the front knee straightens. This is how we keep our level. So if you want to be level throughout the form, it is helpful sometimes to think about, you know, well, how high is it? But you'll get stronger and more coordinated in how you're doing your Tai Chi if you always, one is usually bending and one is straightening as you do it. All right, so now if you're taking smaller steps, it's harder to feel. You know, if your bow step is here, but it's still happening, right? It's still, so if you're here and that's your bow step, it's still happening. You still have this straightening and it goes together. This is how we also get stronger over time. Do it when it's easy, right? Do the easy ones even with a small step, or the hard ones with a smaller step, but do it and feel that weight. You're going to get stronger in your lower body. And your Tai Chi is going to get smoother and some things are going to get easier. When you have a problem, look first to, as Grandmaster Young Zenduo says, look first to your feet, look first to your footwork, because it may in fact have an issue, have something for you. Now, next week, we're going to go over single whip again. Both of you have really great single whip, but we'll go over it just a little bit more to tweak just a couple of things. But one of the things I want to show you is something that's very like single whip. Now we do fan through back. Here is single whip, right? Here is fan through back, right? Sometimes our fan through back ends up looking like this. Now, why would it look like this? Because we didn't open all the way. Do you see that? Open all the way. Because we are, so in a regular bow step, we would be like this. But in our bow step for single whip, we open here. And notice that instead of being this way, I'm more vertical. See how my upper body is more vertical. Watch what that does to my hands. See, this is single whip. Okay, so if I have this more regular single whip, my fan through back is going to look this way. But if I've really opened and I'm in this perpendicular, it will end up there. We'll return to that next time, but I want to talk about a transition that goes from there and how it's made easier by being in this right position. So the next movement after fan through back, which should be like this, right? You see the difference? I'm going to put my arm down so you can see the difference. It's a turning of this hip. It's an opening of this side of my body. And it's a difference between this and this. And when I've got my hand in the right position, it follows my body. Now, if I'm going from here to turn body chop with fist, now, as I start to move back, all I have to do is turn this hand down and I can push down and across and everything works. If I'm here and I start to do it, I don't have that nice, I I end up kind of circling my arms because I want to get that. So it's part of what I want to point out to you is that where we begin matters on how the transitions work. So fan through back, make sure you're open enough so that as you start to shift, when you push down, you see now I'm on this side. Somebody's coming at me from this direction. I'm able to deflect them and make the turn easily. And ideally, I shift my weight really quickly. It's really hard to stay here in this position on this front bent knee. It's hard to see, but my front knee is bent and my back knee is straight. And then as we come back, of course, we make our fist and then chop. So I wanted to push that, and we'll revisit that next week. But I wanted to seed it in as the tips for the second section, because what I don't want anyone to do is this, because that's going to open you up into a bad body position, right? So good job. You're in a great body position. It's your middle body. Remember what I told you that Yang Zhenduo said? He said, look first to your feet and next to your middle body. So give that a try. So we will next week work on the difference between this and this, because that's going to help you. This and this, because that's going to put you in the right place.
When you twist that, like when you're moving your hips, but you're not, you still have your back expanded, right? I mean, you're not. It's not like your shoulder blades are coming in. but you're just
No, it's here. It's
in
here.
here, right?
It's here. It's here. Yes,
Okay.
it's here. It's an opening. Let me see if I can, if this makes any difference. So it's the difference between this and this. You see how my thigh really moved? You see that? I don't know how much you could because you see my knee move. And my chest ends up moving. Do you see that?
Yes.
My whole torso moves because it's tricky. So we are gonna come back to this next week. But the theme for today, right, is looking at what Grandmaster Yang Zhenjuo said, and looking at some of these things, especially you'll be returning to this, and we will be returning to this in the third section. So you're going to be returning to that. That's going to be fine. But here's one you won't turn to that also has to do with turn, body, chop with fist. This is an easy fix. So we've punched down. Now, as you would say, Erlin, you're gonna and we all do this. We all can do this. You're gonna keep that end of our tailbone pointing down, and we are going to come up. So we're not going to just kind of come up like this somehow. We're going to come up hooked into our tailbone. But as we do, I want your palm as you turn. I want your palm to turn down. So we're here, we're coming up, and then we're turning. As we turn and start to shift weight, you need that palm down. And then it stays down as we do turn, body, chop with fist. Right? And then we don't have to make that fist as we come back because it's already made. And we just do it again. So I'm going to do it from here because this part, well, no, I guess this is the one I should do. Yeah, you're turning away from me. I'm going to do it from here. Just don't know that you can see it. So we come up, turn, and that palm goes down. Then we come back. Don't have to do anything except come back. Front leg straightens, back knee bends. And chop. Strike. So what wasn't happening was this turn when I looked at folks, was that turn. So just make sure that you turn as you turn, but you turn pretty quickly. I mean, you turn that pretty quickly. So is that clear to everybody? Just a tip. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. All right. So let me look at my cheat sheet. Oh, I left my cheat sheet upstairs. It's okay. I have some here. Oh, another transition. Another transition from single whip. We're going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. From single whip to high pad on horse. Now, as we come back, as we start to come back, our hook opens. And as we keep coming back, do you notice, I don't know how easy it is to see. Do you notice that my hand is at this point, I'm not all the way back yet. At this point, it's already set. Do you see? It's already set. It's already like this, which I'm going to need. So it was like this, and I have put it in the position it needs to be in here. From afar, it's hard to see. I'm gonna get closer. So we shift, open, and set it. And then as you come all the way back and start to move, it comes in. And I think everybody is doing that, of bringing it in. What we need to make sure is that we set it when it's still back. One of the rules of Yang family Tai Chi, which is only occasionally changed, violated in the form, is that your hand is always in the position it needs to be in, before you use it. And and preferably you set it before you bring it here, and then it's in the perfect position because it's in the right place and it's in the right setting. It's in the right angle for you. You're going to be contacting here with this part. So get up closer. So open, set, bring in. You're rooted, and then forward. This is the only issue here is that not everybody gets this open and set in time. So just make sure that as soon as you start shifting your weight, you're getting it set, and it's not like doing something like this, right? It's going to be set, then bend, then go forward. And it's got a lot to do to get set, to bend, all before you're ready to go forward. That's a good smile. So let's go through the timing just a little bit on that one. So as we're going to center, get rid of your hook. As you're going a little further, bending that leg and straightening the other one, you're setting it. As you're moving your Tai Chi pole all the way back, it's in the right place. And then you step over and change your footwork at the very end. %. Okay, so one more time. So we're here, and we're going to set it and bring it in. And it has to be, and right at the end of bringing it in, you're fully over, and you can change your footwork. And just practice that. Nice, Michael. You don't have to keep it up as high if that's a stress for you. Feel free to, you need to be where it is comfortable. Yes. If it needs to be here for you, make it here for you. Especially on those days when your body's talking to you. I have those days. I don't know if you have those days, but okay, I want to see it. Are you all the way back there before you move that foot? There you go. And remember, you're putting, it's a, there you go. Don't forget the 30% at the end, right? But you got the coordination. So this is one that always falls through the cracks and has to be done again. And it occurs in other forms. So you'll want it. You'll want to know how to do that one. All right. So one more thing, one more tip, because this was the kicking section, right? This was the kicking section. I just want one more time. I want folks who are practicing this to have another thing on their list to work on, right? So when we are kicking a separation kick, it's with the top, right? It's with the top of our foot. And when we're kicking with a heel kick, right? It's a stomp, right? I mean, stomp. There you go. There you go. So it's a stomp. So I should see this heel. It doesn't matter if you're doing it here or where you're doing it, right? I should definitely see that you're using your heel to do the kick. So just when you're doing a heel kick, say to yourself, it's my heel kick, right? Think of that point where you are in fact generating the energy. I mean, releasing the energy. Nice, nice. Nice, Michael, that looks good.
So when we're heel kicking, our toes are perpendicular to the floor, pointing straight up.
Mine are.
Yeah, okay.
Now, they don't have to be. Understand that if it were in actuality being used, you know, you could be doing something like that, right? But we don't have any of those in the form. Okay. All right, let's see what else I might have on here. I think that's, I think it's time. So this may or may not go well for everybody, right? I have thrown so much stuff at you, but I will try to remember to give you a tip as we go by. So we're going to do the first and second sections to Nancy's calling. We have time to do that. And I want you to enjoy it most of all, right? Because this is our last time in section 2, and it's probably our last time doing all of this for a while anyway. So
I have a question.
Oh yes, Michael, sorry.
A while back, I'd asked at one time that on the diagonal fly, the footwork, I had a hard time bringing my right foot to the corner. Which it seemed like it was really easy, just what I did that, but normally I would have a little harder time bringing this right foot to the corner. And I thought there was an easier way to make that transition where I wouldn't have as much strain on my knees by, to get around over here a little bit easier.
Yes, yes. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I do want to go ahead right now and do the other things first, and I don't want you to strain it. So there's a quick answer and there'll be a longer answer. I really do promise you that, which we can do some of next time. The quick answer is number one, you don't have to get all the way to the corner. Remember that in diagonal fly, let's see, where are we? We've just done, here we go. In diagonal fly, you're going to do diagonal fly, and then you're just going to go into another movement. You're changing your footwork right away. So if you don't make it, number one, you don't have to worry. If you can come just a little bit past if you like this, right? This would be all right. Yeah, now I have to remember what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. And then I'd move this here. Yeah. There we go. So what I'm saying is, number one of the things you can do is cheat on the direction. So instead of coming all the way here to the corner, which is really hard to do, and Master Young Jun has actually said, yes, it's nearly impossible to do. Go where you can go, but then do it, be able to do it. It just feels so different for me here. Here we go. So if you're more than to 12 o'clock, if you're on your way to the corner, this is one way you can do it and not hurt yourself. I will give you also, so that's the quick fix, right? That's right. The permission. You do not have to get to the corner. Get to where you can get without hurting yourself. Absolutely. And if you can't get just a little bit past 12 o'clock, then I have other things that you can do, other steps that you can take. It's just a little more difficult to coordinate with the arms, but this will coordinate the same way with your arms. Okay.
Thank you.
And I can give tips on that as well. We'll be doing that again in section 3. So that's why I haven't prioritized it yet, because we'll be coming to it again in section 3.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to put this on, and what we're going to do is, when we get through the first section, I'm going to be talking about, like we did at the beginning of class, the fact that certain knees are bending and certain knees are straightening, right? So you can use that first section to do that. And then we'll just enjoy the second section, and I may point out something that I pointed out earlier over Nancy's calling, and whether it'll work or not, we'll see. But then you'll have it, I hope. So let me, I'm sharing sound. All right, let's see if I can do this.
Yang Family Tai Chi Traditional Form. Prepare. Opening. Grasping the bird's tail. Ward off. Left. Ward off. Right. Roll back.
Back knee bends.
Press.
Back knee straightens.
Push.
Back knee bends. Straightens.
Single whip. Raise hands and step forward.
Left leg bends.
White crane spreads its wings.
Right leg bends.
Left knee brush and push. Hand strums the lute. Left knee brush and push. Right knee brush and push. Left knee brush and push. Hand strums the lute. Left knee brush and push. Step up, parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands.
Right knee bends. Left knee bends. Right knee bends.
Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. Step back and repulse the monkey.
Left knee bends as you come back.
2,
Right knee bends as you come back.
3, diagonal flying. Raise hands and step forward.
Left knee bends.
White crane spreads its wings. Left knee brush and push. Needle at sea bottom. Fan through the back. Turn body and chop with fist. Step up, parry, block, and punch. Step up and grasp the bird's tail, ward off, right. Roll back, press, push, single whip, cloud hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, single whip, high pat on horse, right separation kick, left separation kick, turn body and left heel kick, left knee brush and push, right knee brush and push, step up and punch down,
Remember, palm
body.
down.
and chop with fist. Step up, parry, block, and punch. Step up and right heel kick. Left tame tiger. Right tame tiger. Turn body and right heel kick. Boxing opponent's ears. Step up and left heel kick. Turn body and right heel kick. Step up, parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain.
I noticed everybody except me, because I had to go turn it off, closed. Thank you for doing that. That's perfect. Well, we have completed the second section. A lot of these moves will repeat. And just as before, you could ask a question about the first section, you can always ask a question about something that's only in the second section as we move forward. So no worries about that at all. Any final questions or comments? All right. Well, let's close class and close for now the second section. 同志们，再见。